Hey guys, Nicole Cooper here, and this is video number 3 for our Don't Think, Just Do campaign. Today, I want to share with you, this is actually a two-part series. The first video that I did was a productivity tip. That was video number 2. And this video number 3, guys, I want to share with you the power of celebrating small wins. You know, it's very easy to have like this ginormous vision, right, of all the things that we want to do and we want to accomplish, and just what would be nice. And then you get out here and you look at what other people are doing. You're like, ooh, I want to do that, and ooh, I want to do that, and ooh, I want to do that. And next thing you know, you have this plethora of projects that are mounted on your shoulders, and you have to figure out how to launch them. And for me, guys, it was that, right? It was me. Like, I'm a creative. And I'll talk about different personality types and things like that. But I am the spontaneous, creative, innovative, always coming up with new ideas, new ways to do things kind of person. And my brain just milks them out. Like, it just comes and comes and comes and comes. I mean, anybody can come to me and say, I have this idea to do X, Y, and Z. And in 5 minutes, I can tell them how to launch it, how to set it up, how to focus on a profit plan, what the profit model should be, the price point that they can charge. I have them on the phone with people who can do it. I mean, that's just my genius, right? That is what I own as my brilliance, the ability to take any idea and turn it into income. However, the very great thing that can be our blessing can oftentimes become our greatest challenge. One of my biggest challenges is the idea piece of it. And so what tends to happen is, not only am I an idea person, but I'm a strategic visionary. And what that means is, I have number one, I look at everything from a 30,000 foot level. And I also have the ability to understand a strategic approach to build it out. And so it's not only do I see the big picture, but now I see the process of what it takes to build it out. So if I say right now that I want to launch a podcast, I don't just think, you know what, grab the microphone. I have like multiple microphones around here. Get a microphone, talk. I don't think that. I begin to think, okay, so you have a podcast and you need to have a website. If you have a podcast, you need to have an offer because you want to be building your list. When you're building your list, you have to have, whatever that freebie is, what is going to be your freebie. I'm thinking through the strategic approach to build this out, to connect with the audience, the long-term impact, what is the back-end conversion piece for that demographic? Who is that audience? What are the type of things that they will want? Like, I'm thinking through all those things. So for me, it's not, although I'm a ready, fire, aim kind of person, as I've grown in my business and in entrepreneurship, the strategic approach is always in the back of my mind, right? All these little moving parts have to be done. So this year was a year for me of building up a team, and then also really launching several things that I've been wanting to launch that is kind of built around my business and my brand and things like that. And so the truth is I tried to do it all and it wasn't a good thing. And I think why is because, so you think about this, right? You think about, you want to launch podcasts, you want to launch a YouTube show, you want to get your newsletter together. You want to have social media banners going up. You want to launch a program. You want to launch coaching. You want to do all stuff, right? And all of this is like leading to more and more work. And I'm thinking, all right, podcast, I need to have my website together. Then if I have my website, I got to have all the things that I do. So I need to have my coaching programs on there, and I need to have my products on there. So it's like all these different aspects that you're like, I got to get this done. I got to get that done. I got to get this done. And what happens, guys, is the brain crashes because it's like, oh my God, where do I even start? It's just too many components in this process to even know how to find your way to pressing start. And so what I had to do, I mean, number one, I reached out and got help, right? It helped me see through the noise. And I've talked to a lot of people who helped me to like put things back into perspective. But another thing that I had to realize, guys, is that you don't have to have it all together. Start with one thing and build as you go. See, the challenge is that many of us want the big picture to be perfect. We want the branding to be powerful. We want the website to be powerful. We want our colors to all be coordinated. We want this, we want that. And don't get me wrong. When you are building up a brand, is that critical? Yes, but listen, we all have to start somewhere. Somewhere, something simple that's a small win, that's a beginning step that you can take that will help you to start building those things out in gradual due time. And so what I did, this quarter I had a gazillion things that I was going to launch, right? The website, the podcast, the YouTube show, and other stuff. And I have a team that was like, Nicole, no, this is how we're going to do it. And this is what I want you to focus on. And as hard as it is for me to say, all right, I'll do just one thing, it was the biggest blessing in my life, because today what I got accomplished was a very small win, but it was a big win, right? And it was getting my newsletter typed up to send out. See, I wouldn't send out my newsletter because, and I think it goes out tomorrow, but I didn't want to send out my newsletter because I felt like I had to have my website together. Well, my website's not together because I felt like I had to have my coaching program together. I had to have all my free trainings together. I had to have my podcast ready to go. I had to have this. I had to have that. And I drove my developer nuts because it was just all over the place. And when it's all said and done, the site looks horrible because it reflects my brain. And so I share this with you guys as like a very insightful lesson. See, here's the deal, and I battle with this a lot. I hear people say, you want to look like the expert. You want to be the guru. And a lot of times that means you don't tell people the truth, right? You show them your best self. But guys, I feel like I am the entrepreneur. Pat Flynn talks about this. I am the test crash. What is it? He's called himself the test crash dummy or something like that. Where I feel like I am the person who you can count on to tell you what works and what doesn't work, right? Because it's a look over the shoulder. It's looking at how my business looks as I'm growing into that level. I have a lot of people around me who, they love me, they support me, they got my back, they cheer me on, they have a vision for me, and they're telling me all the time. And one of the things that's good about that is that the time will come where you will have it all together. But in order to get there, you have to take one step, right? And we're very hard on ourselves. We're more hard on ourselves than we really should be because we put this standard of perfection on ourselves. And we do it to other people. I do it to other people subconsciously, and I have to be very apologetic about that, where I'm like, well, they should have this together. They should have that, right? We cast judgment on others, which means we cast judgment on ourselves, right? Of what things should look like and how perfect they should be. And as an internet marketer, we're very critical of people's colors and websites and sales funnels, because we're looking at them all the time. And so when I'm very critical of like people's funnels and people's processes and people's brand imaging and things like that, knowing what it should look like, it holds me to a higher standard when I realize that at the end of the day, everybody has to start somewhere. Everybody can't drop 15 grand to build their brand out, 20 grand. Some people are spending 40 grand, right? And in the beginning, guys, you might have to do it yourself. You might have to go to Fiverr and pay somebody $5 or $25. But the key is getting results, taking action and connecting with people. When it is all said and done, when I look back on this year and all the stuff that I was waiting to release, it's like a whole year has gone by and I have not given the world anything. Now, I don't have any regrets about it. And I'm not saying, woe is me. I feel like I took a step back to get clear on what I wanted to do. But it's like also, there's so much in you that you can be sharing, which is why I'm doing these videos, that just get content out to help your audience. At the end of the day, having a beautiful website is great. Having all your I's dotted and your T's crossed is awesome. But your objective and your focus is impacting the lives of people by any means necessary. So if it takes me to shoot this video on my iPhone, which I'm shooting it now, with no makeup on, and just have no script and be able to vent to you about this process because it's going to impact your life, then my job is accomplished. My mission is accomplished. And we have to get very, very focused on getting back to the basics that really matter, taking things one step at a time, celebrating our small wins, but keeping in mind what the big objective is, and that is the impact, the ability to teach, train, educate others. So it's like now I'm like, all right, let me shoot these videos because that's what got me to where I'm at. I didn't have all the perfect pieces in place, but my business grew. You know, I was able to constantly connect with my audience and constantly be able to give value and constantly be able to make sales in my business. And it wasn't the big rah-rah about how perfect your brand was. It was more so about the rah-rah that people had about you because of the impact you had. So I want to help you guys. Today's lesson, get back to the basics. Focus on one thing at a time. Celebrate your small wins. No, you don't have to have it all together. Take it, you know, where you can do what you can do with what's in front of you, and you build it as you go. Keep in mind, at the end of the day, especially when you're in business, you got to do what you got to do to bring in profits for the day. You got to do what you got to do to create your success for today. You got to do what you got to do to hunt for today so you can eat today. And stop waiting and waiting and waiting. So as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself because this was a big, big, big revelation for me. I'm just so grateful for all my friends and the people that are around me, my coworkers, colleagues, partners. I have partnerships with people who help me to make sense of my, you know, wild and crazy vision. And it doesn't stop me from being who I am, but it helps me to become better at who I am by having people help you to refine and sharpen you. There's one of my favorite scriptures that says, iron sharpens iron, so does a man sharpen the countenance of his friend. So if I can be that friend that sharpens your countenance today, here's the training, here's the big win for us. Let's celebrate it, let's take action, and shoot your video, share it with me, hashtag don't think just do. And I'll see you on the next video, video number 4, for our 32 more days where I want to get 100 videos done. So 3 down, 97 to go. All right, guys. Bye-bye. Check me out, NicoleSCooperFanPage.com. Bye-bye.